Coming up next, West Virginia takes on Cleveland State. They'll come at you here about 2:30 or so today. There'll be a 15-minute break after this one's done. Then West Virginia will take on the Vikings. They are still here waiting around. Anthony Carman for West Virginia against Matthew Waddell. Now Chattanooga.
Ooh, nice headlock, or attempted headlock.
Carman, a product of John Marshall High School in Moundsville, West Virginia. Waddell out of Gilmer, Georgia, is an Oklahoma transfer. His brother Caleb's also on the team. We saw Caleb at 165 against Cleveland State this morning. Anthony, a major decision last time out against VMI, and a bit of an upset pin against Glenville State's Cole Hauser. He was 14th in Division II last time the Mountaineers were here. Carman able to turn around and get a better angle on Waddell.
So Waddell just nice job of controlling the arm, like his right arm, pulled him forward, got around the corner for that takedown. Getting to the corners is pretty important. You know, and this is one thing you can't see on TV necessarily, but it's not warm down here.
It's a little chilly, to be honest.
So warming up and being ready to go is a little bit more of an issue because it's not super warm.
Maybe Santa will bring us a Big 12 Now and ESPN Plus shawl for Christmas.
I'm not worried about us, Eric. I'm kind of more worried about we're talking about them. He's trying the same thing, right? He's the same thing, only on the other side. Carman cannot let him get to the corner that easily. And the other thing that you do is, so when he tries to get to that corner, you try to grab the elbow and attack the other corner.
Oh, that's been what this bout has been about early on, is about trying to deny the other man the corner. Quick glance at the clock from Carman. Coach Tim Flynn said this week Carman needs to keep repeating the things he does well. Wrestles well, just needs to eliminate mistakes.
Well, that was a mistake right there, but he's athletic enough and his hips are good enough that he gets himself out of some of that. So he's got him trapped down, and he's trying to see if he can kick his own leg back a little bit, but I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do that. We're going to end up the period just like this.
We talked to Anthony Carman after the Glenville State match earlier this year. He told me that, I don't know if you heard him saying this, but he said to me that I believe it was only the second time he'd ever been interviewed. The other was when he won OVAC Winter Sport Athlete of the Year, the Ohio Valley Athletic Conference, after going 43-3 as a senior at John Marshall, when the state champion, or one state championship in Class AAA in West Virginia, was most outstanding wrestler of the state tournament that week, or that year. He said, I guess that was a big deal. Carman, to master the understatement.
So there's a warning for stalling on Carman because he didn't return to the mat, and now he's got his hip in a bad spot again. Waddell just doing a nice job of going to try to lift the leg up if he can. There's the escape.
1 point, Chattanooga.
So Chattanooga has the lead early on. Check that midway through the second period. And a takedown right there.
Waddell's doing a nice job of attacking him.
Chattanooga.
He's doing a nice job with like a 2-on-1 with a little bar there, and he's pulling it down, and either he's pulling it all the way to the mat, or he's pulling it a little bit and then attacking the single leg off of it. You can see Carman's just a little raw in some areas. He does he got some nice movement, but he does a couple of things here or there. I'm going to watch somebody's knee here. I don't look real good. They're connected and hooked like that in a strange way. You can hear him breathing, but we got to stalemate that something, right? I mean, what do we?
Yeah, that went on a little longer than it probably
should have.
That went on a long time.
Nice single leg, and it drives right through him. He is able to keep Carman from getting his hip back too well, and he gets himself a 2-point takedown. Ooh. See, Carman has tried to roll that a couple of different times, and this time Waddell slammed his hip into the mat, and Carman almost put his shoulder into the mat doing that.
Not a score for Waddell, but again, for Carman, that's just a lot more trauma on the body than you necessarily needed to have.
Well, you have to have more than just a Granby roll on the mat return, right? Sometimes you have to vary things up so that you keep the other guy a little bit off balance too. If you do the same thing every time, the analogy is a real hard fastball in pitching, baseball. Eventually, those guys are going to time that because if it's the only thing you show them, you have to try to do it again.
All right, Neat, give him the heat.
And these are those areas he's just working on. He likes to try to roll that out of there. And the problem is sometimes you have to again, another thing, be a little more fundamentally sound because he's really helping Waddell really make it easier on him in terms of those mat returns. So now all I got to do is be accounting for him trying to roll through by burying his shoulder or his hip into the mat.
Well, we talk a lot about style matchups, too, and for a guy like Carman that likes to roll people, it doesn't seem like Waddell's let him do that a lot today. And
well, you know what? He's not supposed to. You're not supposed to let the guy roll you around all like that.
And what we're not really seeing is all that Waddell's doing with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
You see all the upper body, the drive, the shoulders, but below the surface of the sea, there's a lot going on, it seems like, on this match.
Well, really, when the top position is really all about that, right? It's all about your hips and driving your hip into somebody and making him carry your hip weight. So here he pops him up in the air, and you see Carman tries to roll. He keeps trying that Granby roll, but Waddell just slams the hip down so that he can't cut it through there.
Carman's a northern panhandle guy. Going face first to the mat must have been like eating a DiCarlo's pizza. Flat and pretty tasteless.
So how many people did you alienate with that comment there, Eric?
The entire northern panhandle of West Virginia. And probably a few families that own and operate those businesses. But right now, it's another win for Matthew Waddell and Chattanooga as Anthony Carman falls today. We're back with more. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.